Yo, what's the deal, fam? It's your man Eeze, live from the airport. No morning walk this morning. Figured I'd still keep that consecutive streak going. Smash that like button. Got a question for y'all. What role does likability play in someone's overall ranking? What I mean by that is, lately, I've been doing a lot of DJ Premier content, right? And a lot of people aren't very fond of me critiquing his work. This will serve as a final boarding opportunity for JetBlue flight. Pardon me. But the same individuals may not be so defensive when it comes to someone like Pete Rock, who is just as talented, who means just as much to the culture as DJ Premier does. And recent evidence, the auditorium were commenting Pete Rock. There were many people who didn't like it. A lot of people liked it, but there was some people who just didn't like it. They complained that, it didn't sound like a Mecca and the Soul Brother or the main ingredient. It was lacking that low end. I've heard it, it's in my comments. I'm privy to all of that, and you are too. But they were open to doing that. But on the flip, if you critique DJ Premier in any way, some people get highly offended. So once again, my question is, what role does likability play in to how we rank people? As you all know, if you're a fan of hip hop, Pete Rock has had his ups and downs, like all of us, with some of his counterparts or his peers, whether it be financial, whether it be creatively, whether it be someone utilizing a sample that he felt as though he owned. Stepped on some toes, but at the same time, he's still a legend, right? He's still an innovator, he's still one of a kind. So we should protect him in some essence, right? I become baffled and I don't understand how we openly, not all of us, but a lot of people just openly are biased in that estimation. Some of it may be like, say for instance, if you're a Nas fan, some people may take on the issues Nas had with Pete Rock, and all of a sudden their ears won't allow them to speak kind words about Pete Rock's production when we should be able to separate the two if those parties involved can do it. So those are just things that come to mind, like what role does likability play into an individual's overall ranking? Because we do it time and time again. Some people are off limits when it comes to critique, and others aren't. And those same people may be in the same realm as far as talent, accomplishments, and innovation. So that's just a question I have this morning regarding that, especially musically. Because as my man Jay Mars stated, you can't be so great that your current work can't be critiqued. Now, granted, this isn't the post protecting or trying to shield Pete Rock in any estimation. I'm just trying to make sure or figure out why the playing field isn't even, because we typically do that a lot. If someone is charismatic, if someone is likable, if someone has the energy that we love, we'll protect them in a sense. But the same person can have the same skill set, be just as diverse and gifted or talented, and won't be given the same grace because we don't typically like their personalities or something like that. And I get it in everyday life that happens, but when we're talking about music and critiquing beats, rhymes, snares, hi-hats, tom drums, samples, and effects, I don't think it's really that deep. So that's the question. Premiers seem to get more grace than Pete Rock when they're just as important to the culture. Well, there is no really huge separation when it comes to their importance as a culture. Like even I remember saying how some people would mimic DJ Premier's style on the way in to making beats, not because it was easy, but because there was a formula there. It was a bit easier, to be honest with you, to come in the game and think that you were gonna do Pete Rock. What he did was asinine, because Pete Rock was taking 5, 6 samples from different records, all in different keys, putting them together in the same key and having them flow together seamlessly. That's not even realistic for someone, an entry-level producer. That's what I meant by that. When you first get your beat machine, you can listen to a Primo beat You may not be able to find the dope samples like him or have an ear like him early on, but you're able to mimic his patterns or his formula. That's what I meant by that in a sense. You know what I'm saying? Education is everything. That's why I take the time to explain certain things, because some of us in this culture, we've gone to the place where we are know-it-alls. And I'm big on education. The fact, and when you get to the point where you think you know it all, you lost the game. Every waking moment we should be learning something, or attempting to listen to someone else, or build our skills. Still sharpen still, because we are getting to a point to where, and I'm just speaking my hip hop. Earlier this week I did a video about ESO not listening to music, and some people were outraged, but some people just shrugged their shoulders like, yo, it's been this way so long, like it's the norm. We can't do that. NBA, you watch ESPN, we got dudes who don't really hoop like that talking on the game and belittling players and saying all types of outlandish things, and we accepted that. And now we're gonna allow the same thing to happen to hip hop. There's a difference between critiquing, and there's a difference between jumping out the window saying all types of stuff, and in the same vein saying that you don't even listen to the music. That's why sports are the way it is now, with fantasy leagues and individuals watching the stat sheets or Sports Center the next morning trying to have an in-depth conversation with you about the game, and they ain't even watch it. They didn't watch what happened in the last 3 minutes, that pivotal turnover, or someone missing a defensive assignment, or horrible time management. Score sheet doesn't show that. And just like not listening to music will expose holes in people's conversations, but yet they'll speak on certain things anyway. So that's just what's on my mind. The fact that in hip hop we're allowing too much nonsense, too many YouTube hip hoppers who don't really do any research or even take the culture serious. It's just something to do, and I get that. But if that's your role, live in that. Don't act like you're some aficionado and you don't even put no time in. And getting back to the original point, the question for you, please answer. Do we give this favorability, hold on one sec. So what role does likability play in how we rank individuals overall, using Pete Rock and DJ Premier as an example, or does it not play a role at all? Just let me know in the comment section. That's just something I was thinking about. But salute to the legends. We appreciate all your contributions, past, present, and future. But like J. Moss stated, nobody is above reproach, and no one is so great that the current work can't be critiqued. If you're listening, it's your man Eeze at the Eeze Experience. I appreciate all you out there. Remember, anything you want to achieve in this world, on this planet, it's possible through sheer hard work and patience. God is the greatest. Mature discourse in the comment section. I'm up out of here. Y'all be good. Go get yours. Yeah.